Welcome to the Lila Life Show. I'm your host, Linda Andrews, and you've tuned in to the right place to up-level in your life and business. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Lila Life Show. I'm your host, Linda Andrews, and today's episode, we are finishing what we started unpacking a couple weeks ago about healing. And this was part 2 of the episode, Mutually Exclusive. And I started really diving into the healing piece, and we're going to dive deeper in. So thank you for following the threads here. I hope you're really enjoying the new format of the podcast, where we have an expert one week, and then we have teachings from myself, or just even these lovely musings. But I really do my best to channel what's coming through, capture it, and present it to you in a way that hopefully is that little ping of exactly what you need. So we were talking about the other week about healing and this idea of, does wholeness exist for me? And as a baseline, I want to start this conversation as though we are assuming that wholeness does work for you. It works for everyone. It's available to everyone. And I think this is a very different way of thinking, especially in our world, especially in our society. There's a lot of messaging, a lot of programming of all the reasons why something's wrong with you, why you may be broken, and just being on the alert, the lookout. And when you are committed to wholeness and well-being, and then you see all this messaging, there's an invitation to be within yourself and to say, that is not for me. Those contrary messages to what you are choosing, which is wholeness in this example. When you're saying this is not for me, it's not like you're having to go up to anyone and say, this is not for me. It's within yourself. And anything that I ever say ever, anything that any of our experts are ever saying, there's a filter that we can call it intuition. You can call it whatever you want to, but it is for you, it is by you, and no one can take it from you, and no one can tell you whatever. So I really invite you to always, for any of these episodes, be processing the information through your filter. So if this does work for you, this invitation into wholeness, and noticing within yourself what is out of alignment to that. And I think wholeness could be an ideal. It could be like, if that is my aim, if that is my ideal, to be in wholeness, oh, by the way, like you already are, but noticing again, how many standard deviations outside of that you may be feeling in your day to day. So at the end of that episode, I was talking a lot about energy management and noticing your energetics, noticing stagnation. I have a theory, it's a working hypothesis, if you will, but that our nervous system is the thing that's running the show, amongst many other systems. But our nervous system, that's what's getting the zillion pings through text message, through social media, through your interpersonal relationships, right? All the different ways that your energy is being pulled day to day. This is taxing on the nervous system. And so when I'm saying your system, I'm talking about your nervous system and then whole body systems, all the systems. But can you start to really tune into and have a sensitivity to, okay, like, is this for me or not? Is this empowering for me or not? It's the empowering or the disempowering. I do often like to stray away from the black or white thinking, and even this like disempowering and empowering can be on a spectrum. But you can feel what feels resonant or not. And if you're like, I can't feel that, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, just start to notice your own energetics, your own resonance. You can do little experiments. How am I feeling when I talk to person A and person B? And when I do this thing and I do that thing? Let me give you a very simple example. I have a background as a college swimmer, elite athlete, and it's just like grind time. It's practice, weights, fitness, all the things. And you start to get in this like program of the regiment for that very specific outcome. As a 34-year-old grown woman, I find myself sometimes still wanting to be in that regiment. And it's a deep program that it's constantly just taking practice to unfold. Well, I challenge myself every day to do what feels nourishing from a body, perspective, a fitness perspective, a movement perspective. So some days that could be an ocean swim, other days that could be a walk, other days that could be a HIIT workout or a lift. And why am I telling you this as the example? Because it can be easy to be like, I want it to be this and this and this and this. But every day my body feels different. And every day, if I'm like on Mondays, I do this, and Tuesdays, I do that, and Wednesdays, I do this. But not every Monday I feel like doing that. And today's like a perfect example. I had been sick for a couple weeks and my energy is coming back, and I gave myself a lot of rest, nourishment, and kind of lessened my load for a little bit. And I was like, I want to go for a run. And I did this 20-minute run. I like the guided outdoor runs on the Peloton. And it was just so lovely. It was so fun. But it's supporting my energetics. It's supporting my day. It's supporting what my body needs, my system needs. And especially in the example around fitness, where it can often, if you're especially in a high stress environment, your body doesn't differentiate the different stress buckets. Can really be detrimental. So I see that a lot, where I can't lose the weight, I can't this, I can't that. It's like, well, you're under a fire hose of stress, and you're adding more stress to these super extreme workouts. And maybe what you need is to cozy up to yourself, to your system, be a bit more gentle, let some healing occur, and see what happens there. So when we're talking about healing, there's three things that I think are worth bringing up. Defense mechanisms. So this is the way your system has baked in responses based on usually past traumas to keep you safe, secure, and they may or may not be still working for you. So these could be habits, patterns, it's just things you kind of like go on autopilot and do. Noticing what of those are yours. Internalization. This is very common, where it's like it's just too much, the world is too much, everything is too much, so you're internalizing, you're kind of like stuffing the thoughts, the feelings, the experiences inside, and then that like bakes into your system and doesn't have room to release. And then the last is the unprocessed traumas that usually also then are a part of that internalization process, that have been stored over the course of your lifetime and could be having their own health effects. I believe that we have, the body has an innate way to kind of like bootleg into safety. And a part of that is through internalization, is trying to like, it's storing the traumas in a way that they it's storing the traumas in the type of way that, instead of letting them run through and be processed, they get stuck, they get stored. Then this is that stagnation piece. And ways that this is commonly expressed: chronic illness, soreness, like a recurring soreness or injury. Those are some common ones. And if you remember me, this is episodes ago, talking about micro traumas. We often think of trauma as this capital T, this big experience, which it could be that, right? Those are very extreme and can have a huge impact on your life and your ability to process. But in addition to this uh, is these micro traumas that are a bit more subtle, and they compound over time. And so being able to sit in this exact moment and understand that there are things to clear, whether you want to face the music or not. And then it's like, now what? How am I clearing that? Um, this question, what does my body need to move through? And as you ask yourself that, you may have exact answers. You could have memories come up. And I want to just let you know that as you are doing this work, to be really gentle, to give yourself more nourishment as you're doing it. Breath work can be an amazing tool. Meditation can be an amazing tool. And movement, even, right? Getting the body, the system moving, but just knowing that it is, it's, it can be a lot. And so that upping the nourishment for yourself, upping that sensitivity to that for yourself, upping that self-love for yourself and compassion for yourself is critical. All right. So we're talking about all this, and I think at the other side of wholeness and health can often be death, passing on. And for me, at this present moment and the past couple of life experiences that I've had, been thinking a lot about death and understanding how, uh, at least for me, like divine timing is alive and well. And I think about like an accident versus like dying of old age. And you yourself may have lost some loved ones. I have a lot of compassion and sending you lots of love if you're in that grief processing process. And just understanding that I'm not here right now to solve life's big questions. I do like to talk about them though. But if you have trust and faith, and it's whatever that is for you, and the invitation to say your highest expression, if you're tapping in daily to your highest expression, to your purpose, life can look and feel a lot different than the days that you aren't doing that. And if that feels hard, uh, and there feels like if when you're doing that things need to change, you need to make some new decisions, it can feel scary. And then that's that defense mechanism of like, whoa, 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 where are we going? I don't want to do that. I want to be like safe, steady, secure. But just noticing what's coming up for you, noticing how maybe some of your decision making could be related to fear of death. I think that's a lot more common than we're ever talking about. And it's so sort of subtle and sneaky the way it shows up. And there's this question in here of like, how is my fear of death holding me back? How is my fear of not fully living holding me back? And seeing what comes up for you. And on the other side of that may be this invitation to be as fully in your now moments, taking it all in into this conscious, aware life. Your relationship with life's nows. How are you living your relationship to life's nows, the now moments? And it can be easy for programs, for anxiety, for frustration, fear, distraction, all the things to creep in and rob from those now moments. But that's the practice. And then that's the feedback loop of the new choice, the new opportunity. And this goes on and on and on. As such a blessing of that precise divine expression as you. This could end up haunting you. It does to me sometimes, but it does to me in a blessing way, because when this gets too far away from me, I notice a drastic shift. I will never have this moment again. I'm recording this in this precise moment, speaking to you in this precise moment. There may be even a little gap in time from the moment, there definitely is, from the moment I'm recording to the moment you're listening. I will never have this moment again. You will never have this moment again. I don't take it lightly that you're choosing to listen in your now moment to this. It's just so beautiful. It inspires me to keep coming back. And I hope it inspires you to keep coming back. And it's to what's resonant. And things may fall off and be no longer resonant. There can be grief in that experience and an opportunity to process that for yourself. But I will never have this moment again. And so the other side of that is I only have this moment now. I think that unlocks something. So see what that shifts in you. Am I in my life? This is a question. Am I fully in my life? Again, just see whatever comes up. It's a great journal prompt. I hope that some of these questions, if it lands, that you take some time with and you let yourself unpack through some writing. And then the last two questions I have for you: what am I looking for? And what am I distracting from? Seeing what else shows up. So at the beginning of this conversation, we start with wholeness. You have an opportunity to own your wholeness, your birthright of wholeness. Understanding that healing is for you. The invitation to live your highest expression, this or better. So I hope in our part 2 of the healing episode that you're getting exactly what you need. Would love to hear, drop it in the comments. reviews, and take this with you. Let it be whatever medicine you need today. Much love, as always, sending you many blessings on your journey. We'll see you next week on the Lila Life Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Lila Life Show. Be sure to share, like, and comment. Tune in next week. And if you're not already a member of the Lila Life Collective, you'll want to be. So take a look in the show notes and be sure you sign up today. Have a beautiful day.